Hey guys, it's Dave Gass, and this is a story about a guy, meaning me, who had 21 W2's in 1986 to going on and having an established auto body career where basically I had two jobs in 38 years. Little ones here and there to move up ladders, but basically one for 21 plus years. And my last job was 12 years, but unfortunately, I retired due to back problems. But yeah, 1986, I had 21 jobs, 22 job interviews. The only place that didn't hire me was McDonald's for maintenance because the guy called me and he goes, "Look, I would hire you. You're a good guy, a kid, but you're not going to stay. You're too ambitious. I know you'll only stay a couple months and you'll be on your way." And he was right. That year, yeah, 52 weeks in a year, I had 21 jobs. Picture people how the anxiety of starting a job nowadays or the anxiety of quitting a job. I was doing it like, psh, but it built confidence. I don't recommend it for everybody, but you just go in, be upfront with them and say, "Yeah, I'll give it a try, and see if this is for me," and blah, blah, blah. And it was a lot of bull work, roof work, uh, fixing parking lots, shipyards. I can't even remember half of them. Mill work, and you back then the economy was different. And I'm talking about making basically minimum wage, and you could go in the morning and just leave at 10, say, "Yeah, it's a shit job." A lot of the old veteran guys would tell you, "Kid, this is a dead end job. This is for guys like me who, are ready to retire. Get out of here." And it would go on and on. Now, here's my wife. At the time, my girlfriend, we just start dating. She's going to school full time for her career, which she still does to this day. She's had one job for 36 years, that job in that field, in that career. But at the time, she was going to school full time and she was working at a bank full time. And I'm like, Jesus, this is not going to work. I'm a maintenance man at the time at a high rise elderly building, and I had a great time. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, her mother's up my butt. Her mother, it was just her and her mother, she's the only child. That's her mother's baby. And it was not good. I was not the kind of guy that you would want your daughter with. Not as far as a good guy. That was great. We got along great. Well, I get along great with her mother, and I still do. Uh, but I didn't look like a husband material, and I can understand. She went a little overboard sometimes, but I can understand. I was a kid. And so one day, my girlfriend at the time, she's only 18 years old, but very wise and older, mature. And she says, "Dave, why don't you go to trade school for something to do with cars? You and your friends work on cars. You enjoy that." So I got a student loan for $9,000 and went to trade school. I would work 11 at night to 7 in the morning, buffing floors and stop and shop grocery store. Propane, oh, I'd have these massive headaches. It was pretty brutal. Just the whole thing, working third shift for the first time and being at night. Then I'd have to leave Massachusetts, drive to Rhode Island, go to trade school from 8 to 2:30. Not see my wife other than one day a week, which I believe was Saturday. Uh, so after having 21 W2's, I became a guy who went into the auto body trade. And after a rough start at the beginning, after doing very good in trade school, but it was a transition from school to the real world. I had one job for over 21 years and another job for 12 years, which I just retired from because of back surgery. And there was a couple in between here and there that were promises and didn't work out. But sometimes things seem good and they just don't work out that way. But I remember going into H&R Block so embarrassed. I didn't have an accountant back then. I'd go in H&R Block and I had 21 W-2s. And I said to the woman, I says, I'm embarrassed. I got all these W-2s. And she didn't even blink. I'm thinking, I'm the king of the job interview, and this is, I can go to any job and grab it. I would have confidence. Start a new job and just picture doing that 21 times a year. People get all kinds of anxiety for starting jobs. Picture starting 21 jobs in a year and leaving 21 jobs, whatever. But it was a confidence builder, and I learned a lot doing that. I learned a lot about myself. And my father taught me a lot of that, him being a musician, having to go to clubs all the time and sell himself. But she didn't even blink. 21 W-2s. I said, oh, this must be a record, huh? And she's like, no, there was a guy in here the other day. I can't remember if she said he had 24 or 27 W-2s. So can you change in your life from a lost kid to somebody who ends up having a great career? You can. And having a great woman or a great man behind you also establishes that. My wife, she's the picture of stability. We've been together now 39 years, married 34 years. I've said that before. She's been at the same job for 36 years in the field she went to college for. There's stability. But yeah, 21 W-2s in 1 year. Boy, was that embarrassing. I was just, oh. But at the time, I just had so much confidence that I could nail the job. I just had no interest in keeping them. Loading trucks, driving trucks. Oh, geez, it was not, UPS or something, US mail. No, nothing like that. I'm talking like someplace that delivers candy or cigarettes or something like that. But it's a funny story. Dave Gasso.